The peace didn't last long. After Karen's disastrous gala at my pond lodge, I thought maybe, just maybe, she had finally learned her lesson. But a week later, I pulled into the property and stopped cold. The lodge was gone. Where my grandfather's century-old residence once stood. Hand-hewn beams, stone fireplace, the porch that had seen 4 generations of my family. There was nothing but splintered wood and a pile of rubble. My heart clenched. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Then I saw them. Heavy machinery parked on the far side of the clearing, excavators, bulldozers, dump trucks. HOA men in hard hats lounged nearby, laughing and smoking as if they hadn't just raised decades of history. Karen was there too, clipboard in hand, directing them like a tyrant in her element. I stormed forward, fists trembling. "What have you done?" She turned, smiling as though she were granting me a favor. "Oh, this? We voted unanimously. Your structure was non-compliant, unsafe, outdated, and an eyesore to the community. The HOA decided it had to go." My voice cracked with fury. "You had no authority. This land isn't even under your HOA." Karen shrugged, her arrogance impenetrable. "Authority is what people recognize, and clearly you couldn't stop us. Consider it a lesson in compliance." For a moment, all I could hear was the roar of blood in my ears. The lodge was gone. My grandfather's legacy was gone. But then Karen made her fatal mistake. She gestured toward the wreckage, laughing with her board. "We'll bill you for demolition. Maybe next time you'll think twice about ignoring our rules." That's when I smiled. "You really shouldn't have said that," I murmured, because unknown to Karen, the entire demolition had been recorded. Every bulldozer, every smashed wall, every arrogant smirk. My drones had been circling since the moment the machinery rolled onto my land, capturing high-definition footage from every angle. When the deputies arrived, summoned by my emergency call, I didn't even need to explain. I simply handed them the tablet with the drone feed. The lead deputy watched for less than a minute before shaking his head. "They're finished." Karen tried to intervene, waving her clipboard wildly. "This is authorized. This is community property." The deputy silenced her with a single sharp command. "Ma'am, you just demolished private property. On camera. Without any permit or legal authority. That's criminal destruction of property, trespassing, and conspiracy. You're under arrest." The HOA workers scattered, but deputies were faster. Within minutes, Karen and her crew were cuffed and shoved into patrol cars, their protests drowned by the sound of engines. I stood among the rubble, grief mixing with grim satisfaction. The lodge was gone, but now the law was firmly on my side. The footage spread like wildfire. News outlets replayed the drone clips on loop. Karen pointing at the lodge as excavators tore it down. Her smug laughter, the deputies marching her away in cuffs. Headlines blazed. HOA president orders demolition of private home. Drone footage exposes HOA in criminal act. Historic lodge razed by HOA arrests made. The community was outraged. Formerly loyal board members abandoned her overnight. Residents who had feared her for years suddenly found their courage, lining up to testify against her. Investigators swarmed HOA offices, uncovering decades of fraud, misappropriation, and coercion. Karen's empire crumbled in days. But as for me, I stood on the ruins of my lodge with a heavy heart. My spouse joined me, their hands slipping into mine. "We'll rebuild," they whispered. I nodded slowly, staring at the broken stones of the fireplace. "Yes, but this time stronger, smarter, with proof that no one, not Karen, not the HOA, not anyone, will ever take it from us again." The pond reflected the sky, calm and eternal, as if promising that our family's story wasn't over. The lodge would rise again. Karen would face justice. And the drones, those silent witnesses, had ensured that the truth could never be buried.